Last night, one more chapter was written in the ever-ending clusterfuck book that is the Arizona Coyotes and their tenure in the city of Phoenix in the state of Arizona. This one, as without sounding like a complete pessimistic human being, I can't help but say, though, this was the final chapter, I think, in that book. I think their 27-year run in the state is coming to an end. I think a lot of people that want this team to move are going to be very happy here soon. But I think, though, their wishing and their hoping and their belief are going to be squashed. I think where they think they're going to move is completely going to be dashed here quickly. But let's get to the crux of the story. Last night, the city of Tempe voters resoundingly voted against a $2.1 billion proposal that would build an entertainment district, which included a 16,000-seat stadium arena that's to be located at the end of Tempe Town Lake on Rio Salado and Priest, about 2 miles away from Sky Harbor International Airport. Currently, that area, that land, is a dump. And I'm not talking about an ugly place. It's an eyesore. It is a legitimate wasteland, which I find funny. The Tempe First Group and the people that were vehemently against this, that hit the ground running and put all these smear ads out against the team and why this shouldn't happen, are gung-ho. We're going to do low-income housing. We're going to, we plan on a kids park, yada, yada, yada. That land has been a dump for as long as I have visited, been to, seen, and lived in the city of Phoenix. Okay, I first stepped foot in the city of Phoenix to go visit my father back in 1990. That's been a dump since then. They are no closer to building a kids park, a low-income housing facility, or anything else than they were back in 1990 when I got there. And believe me, 20 years from now, it will still be a dump. There won't be a kids park. There won't be low-income housing. There won't be any of that. That was all lip service by the city of Tempe. Trust me when I tell you, they stick their nose 10 feet in the air when it comes to the even concept of building low-income housing there. They don't want that. They don't want that in your ASU. Are you shitting me? They don't want that in Tempe. So this was just smear tactics because they didn't want the rich getting richer, is how they basically put it. So here we are. And here's the thing, okay? 1.9 of that 2.1 was going to be funded by Alex Murillo and the Coyotes ownership group. This was as good of a deal as I think you were going to see a team get for an arena deal. And it's shot down. It's dead. Where did the Coyotes go from here? I'm not going to say they're completely out. Their time in Arizona is done. It's dead, but it's on life support. It is on complete life support. They've got a few weeks. That's basically what the ownership group said. That's what the NHL said. We're going to evaluate the next few weeks and see what our options are. I'd like to believe they have plan B and even plan C in mind. I hope they do. But I don't know what those plan B or plan C's are. And I don't think, even the experts of the team don't seem to have a clue what they may be. Even the most diehard Coyote fans who have fought tooth and nail, this isn't happening, this isn't happening, this isn't, they're not moving, they're staying. Even the most diehards that have done that for years seem to be resigned to the fact that a relocation is now more realistic than possible. The two options I think that they do have that might possibly work out, in their favor, would be number one, start hitting the phone lines with Matt Ashiba, the new owner of the Phoenix Suns right now. See if he wants to buy a majority stake of the team, 50, 60, even 70%, and move the team back down to the Footprint Center where they started back in the day. Why that failed? Simple fact, you had two different groups that were running teams there, both fighting for what they actually wanted. If Ashiba owns them, then, it's his two teams, it's his two entities. He's going to have vested interest in both. That could work. That absolutely could work. I mean, is it optimal that they're sharing an arena with a basketball team? Not really. And we all know that the Suns are vying to get a new arena of their own, right? But then you get Ashiba in there. This puts at least temporary closure to this problem. And I think Ashiba's going to get something done for both the Suns, the Coyotes, etc. I think this is the best case scenario at this point. The other option is we've heard rumors of tribal land. We've heard rumors of tribal land for years. Why they didn't jump on that, I don't know. I really don't know. But if that is the case, that's something that needs to be explored ASAP. They should have been up 24 hours working on that. I mean, but the clock's ticking. The clock is absolutely, it's 11:55 for the Arizona Coyotes. And I don't think the chances are looking good. And I'm not going to be one of these people that gets on here and berates them and, hey, Arizona's not a hockey market. We'll hear this bullshit just like we hear from the people. Every fucking post that the Coyotes put up, oh, Quebec, 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 Quebec. Calm your tits, okay? Number one, get this through your heads if you're one of these people. The Coyotes are not moving to Quebec City, okay? If the Coyotes are moving, it's going to be to one of maybe three places. Number one, most likely, I'd say 97% chance, Houston, Texas. Number two would be Portland, Oregon. Number three, Kansas City, Missouri. Number four, Salt Lake. They're not moving to Quebec, okay? And if you guys haven't got it through your head now that the NHL is not coming back to Quebec City, you're never going to. I get it. You want a team back. I get it. The NHL would be widely supported there. No question. No question about it. But if you look at the history, how many expansion teams have been put in the league since the Nordiques left? Right? We've got teams in Las Vegas. We've got teams in Seattle. We've got teams in another team in Minnesota who never should have lost their North Stars to begin with. I get it. We put a team in Atlanta. Hell, they're talking about putting another team in Atlanta. Quebec City is not on the radar, and it's not going to be the Coyotes. And you can sit there and argue, well, if Arizona's not a hockey market, let me just put it this way, okay? This team has been doomed from the start by mismanagement, by shitty ownership, by clusterfuckery off the ice, and let's be honest, the on-ice product hasn't been much better. This team, from day one, was mismanaged in Arizona. Day one. Infighting amongst ownership. Then you have, ownership instability. Jerry Moyes taking them into bankruptcy. It's the move to Glendale itself should have never, ever happened. Ever. Anybody that knows anything about the city of Phoenix and the layout of it knows that is a terrible location for a hockey team. Yeah, it worked great for the Cardinals. It's a whole lot different to go to 6 or 7 games a year on Sundays. It's a different animal to go to 41 or 42 on a random Wednesday or a Tuesday. Okay? Those of us that live in the East Valley where the money is, the Scottsdales, the Tempes, the Mesas, even the Phoenixes, okay? The Chandlers. That is an hour-plus drive without traffic. Good luck getting a traffic-free road on the 60 or the 101 or the 202 on a weekday. You won't get it. By the time people get out of work at 5:30, 6 o'clock, they get to Glendale. It's midway through the first period. That's why attendance flunked in Glendale. And we all know the relationship between Glendale and the Coyotes. It was toxic. It was toxic for years. Then you had bad ownership after, Jerry Moyes was the scour of the universe. And not that the previous ownership groups before him were any better, but Jerry Moyes, to me, should be arrested for what he did to this organization. Then the league owned it for years, and this possible owner, that possible owner, they went through several different possible ownership groups that fell by the wayside, finally get to Ice Arizona. George Gosby, God bless his soul. I don't mean to speak down to the deceased. All right, I think the man had the right idea in mind, but I also think he was more into being the idea of being a hockey owner than he actually was. Then they get Andrew Barroway in there. Barroway has the right idea in mind, but he can't put it all together. We finally seem to get a stable owner here in Morello who actually has plans. Okay, we all saw the Ice Arizona's plans. Let's fight with everybody and alienate everybody in the city of fucking Phoenix, so we don't get deals. Oh, Morello rubbed the right shoulders. He rubbed the right elbows. Finally have a stable plan in place. We have to work the magic. We have to hit the pavement, hit the ground running. You get this arrangement with the mullet, at ASU. And then we're going to work this amazing deal in the city of Phoenix. By the way, I'm going to fund it. I'm going to fund a large portion of it, and Tempe says no. I mean, this has been the plight of the Arizona Coyotes. But why don't fans come? Gee, I don't know. You got a different owner every year. You got a different rumor of relocation every year. Where are we going to play next year? Is this team going to be bankrupt? Not to mention the fact that they've become the, dump off all your used shoes and your used toys to our dumpster bin. Even though they're never going to play a game, we'll stockpile draft picks. But here, dump your dumpster bin items into our organization. We'll gladly take them off. It's just been a mess. It's been one mess right after the other. And I feel awful for the Coyotes fans that have stuck around through this. There have been loyal fans. There are fans that will follow this team to the depths of hell. And they have. If they haven't left by now, they're not going to. They're the ones that are going to lose out here. My hope, as I said, here in the next 2 weeks is something comes up, that there's an angel deal, an angel investor, a miracle that comes on the 24th hour. Maybe it's a Sheba saying, here, we'll work out some kind of arrangement where you can play here. I'll buy a large portion of the ownership. Maybe that's their best bet. I don't know. But I got to tell you this much right now, Arizona fans, and I'm the one that said there's still hope, there's still hope, there's still hope. Hope is running out. Hope is running out big time. And if you're a fan of sports in Houston, if you want a hockey team in Houston, be eternal, be hopeful, because it's looking more and more likely by the day that you're going to wind up having a hockey team sooner rather than later. Thanks for listening. We'll talk again soon.